back, and we're covering a Eternal Flame News article that we wrote about modern slavery in America. We're not just talking about sex trafficking today. We're talking about actual slave labor. I'll just read a few responses from what we wrote in Eternal Flame News, and I'll give you my personal comments. As you guys are aware, or maybe you're not, most of the Eternal Flame News articles, except for like the first month, Miranda's written all of these. We've sat down together sometimes, and we've got news update emails. We have a Eternal Flame News email that we check out, and I wanted to give a shout out to Miranda as her diligence to study some of these articles and help write on them as we continue to move forward in this. And let's get right into it. Personally, and Miranda could probably agree on this as well, slavery reminds me of, Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation. But even with the signing of this, we still seem to have a lot of problem in here. You hear more about H1N1 viruses and troops to Afghanistan and all these other things where things are affecting Americans, but when it comes to something such as slavery, which is apparently a lot far more extreme than what we think, what has America done? What is the direction that we're doing anymore? I mean, human trafficking, sex trafficking, drugs, religious oppression, government-run healthcare, and companies. I mean, look, we're becoming like a socialist country here. I do not understand, how our forefathers fought and died to make this country free, and we need to try and get this country back. We need to be able to see what the direction that needs to happen and who we are as Americans. We have forgotten the fact we're the land of the free and the home of the brave. We're not slaves. We're not slaves to sin and for Christians. We're not slaves to oppression of government. It's for the people, by the people. The government works for us. People should be able to rely on their fellow man and help each other out. Oppression like this does not need to exist in 2010 coming up. We should make 2010 coming up a new year, a year of freedom. We should have a proclamation and declare that our voices will be heard. Set your voice free. Stand up today. Get involved in your communities. Find out what's going on. I know there's so much information out there. There's so many things going on that you're just not able to get in the path and the plan that you're trying to find out. But I guarantee that you'll feel a lot better if you focus on helping others. It will make a big difference in your life. Slavery could be anything. You could be a slave to yourself. You can have slave to sin. You can be slave to your job, friends, family. Anything can become a slave. There's no place for that anymore. Technology keeps moving forward. We keep moving forward as a society and a creation of humankind. What happened to extending our hands out and clasping them together and saying, I'll be there for you. I'll help you. If you need a job, you can come work for me. You need some help, we'll help for you. How many people today can actually go to their neighbor, and I'm serious, walk on your front porch, turn left, turn right. Is there a house beside you? Or even across the street. Are you able to go to the house beside you or across the street, knock on their door, say, hi, my name is Jeremy. I'd like to get to know you. Let's go have lunch. A lot of people will probably freak out on that. You got to take baby steps. You got to move forward in the right direction. You got to seek what God is trying to do. Because this is something, God's trying to get our attention on. Slavery, oppression is across the world. If you guys are familiar with Voice of the Martyrs, there's a map you can get, and it's like the northern part of Africa all the way over to China and the Middle East. It's oppression. just hasn't gone away. You know, I just got a breaking news email update that 5 church leaders were sentenced to labor camps without trial. This was in China. 5 more church leaders in Linfen Church Zurich were sentenced to 2 years of re-education through labor. Socialism, re-education, no public trial. You know, their family members are also being held under severe government surveillance. The watchful eye, the all-knowing eye. They were accused of gathering people to disturb the public order. If you're familiar with China, normally these churches are in homes such as myself. And people come in and they talk like you do here. That's why I'm sitting here on my chair in my living room, just like you would be right here. I invite you freely to come here. And I would assume these people probably done the same thing too. According to a witness, it said they were beaten severely during interrogation. One person got their front teeth knocked out. And they look very fragile. You know, the China Aid President Bob Few said to arbitrarily send 5 innocent citizens to labor camps directly violates the international human rights covenants and the norms the Chinese government has signed and even ratified. This case shows the Chinese government is determined to be on the wrong side of history by clinching its power with suppression, the basic freedom of religion and conscience for Chinese citizens. We call upon the international community to hold these rights abusers accountable. If you go to ChinaAid.org, you can find out more about this. That just came in as I was sharing the story. You know, it's amazing how God loves to put things together. We had an outline for the show. I have an email pulled up, and bam, something related to oppression, slavery, persecution. It's alive and well today in America. And you must be prepared. We're going to take a break, and we'll return.